If this is your first time tuning in, let me welcome you to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Incorporated. I'm your host, Steve Bergeron, and I am at Power Martial Arts in Las Vegas, Nevada. Today's video is going to be about the finer points of escaping the mount. So I hate to use the word advanced. I'm not going to use it. We'll call it the finer points of escaping mount. I hope you like. Before we commence on working on the finer points of escaping the mount, I just want to put a disclaimer in that you want to have the fundamental basics on lockdown. You want to have a good grasp of them, understand what they're all about, because I'm not going to focus on the basics. I'm working just on the finer points. So if you just started this and you don't understand the escaping the mount, focus on that first. If you got everything else on lockdown, this is what you want to focus point, is the finer points. But more importantly, I got a little bonus move for you guys that you'll like. Stay tuned till the end, and I hope you like. What I want to talk about is when the person has their toes dug in to my thighs to the outside, and I'm having a hard time elbow knee escape because my leg relaxed the leg. If the person has a relaxed leg, I always talk about flaring the knee and pressuring at the instep, so you're already ready for the foot lift or the foot drag to escape. When the belt starts getting a bit darker and they're getting a little bit more wiser and they mount, they start digging the toes into your thighs, and then they're nice and wide with their knees, and now you're having difficulties. So whenever they have their toes into my thighs and I can't elbow knee escape, this is what I want to talk about. So I want to have my forearm at the front of the hips, palm at the hip bone, this elbow on the inside knee, and then assist. So from here, since I can't elbow knee escape, I'm going to give it a bridge and then hip out. Once I hip out, these toes are no longer at my outside thighs, so then I can bring my knee to the inside and already be set to attack with the ankle lock. From here, it's just a quick push, and I throw him on his back. So how we get to here, I got two different ways. This is one of them. So Juan has this arm out of the way so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. I can't elbow knee escape. His toes are monitoring my thighs. He's got his knees wide to really prevent the bridging and rolling. So what I want to do is a forearm at the front of the hips, palm at the hip bone, assist, and the other elbow on the inside knee so this leg stays stationary. Now I give it a bridge and a hip out hard to one side. From here, then I go to my ankle lock position. Some people refer to this as a single X as well. And then I squeeze my knees, rotate, and I'm back to the escape. The first escape is when they leave the weight on this side. The second variation is when they want to maintain top position and transfer their weight onto their other knee. This is the other option. So once again, nothing changes. The forearm in front of the hip, palm at the hip bone, assist it. Outside elbow goes to the inside knee. I want to give it a bridge and a hip out. They maintain their weight on this side. They're trying to maintain top position. All I do from here is the hand slides to the elbow. I push, they're down, and I'm back in my position. So the last escape I taught of the finer points of escaping the mount is when they maintain their weight on this side. The other variation is when they want to maintain top position and they decide to put the weight on the other knee. So everything at the beginning remains the same, but it's a different variation. So everything's the same in regards to your forearm will be across the hips, palm at the hip bone, the other hand assists it, the outside elbow goes to the inside knee. I'm going to give it a bridge and a hip out as they transfer their weight over. That's when I grab the ankle, I leave the instep behind the knee, I push him back, and I'm back in my ankle lock position. So the main factor of this escape is they will tell you to do it as the indicator will be when they transfer their body weight to the opposite side. Then you go for your second option. So they got digging the toes into the thighs. You can't really elbow knee escape. I give my arm position in frame. I give it a bridge. I hip out. I bring my knee in. He transfers his weights. I reach for the ankle. I bring him down. And I got my ankle lock. So I end up in this position here, ready to attack the ankle. I just finished showing I got two ways of the finer points of escaping the mount to get to this position. Which way I get here, my opponent will dictate which way I choose, well, depending on which side his body weight's going to be. Do I do the first one or do I do the second one? But regardless, I end up in this position. Now you have another A or B scenario. The A or B scenario, the A scenario is I finish with an ankle lock. Ankle lock are hard to get. You really got to put in the reps. So for the people that are not really good at ankle locks or very undecisive about them, you have another option to get to here. So instead of entangling the arm over to attack the ankle, all I do is I entangle underneath. I go underneath, grab the top of the knee. So from here, I get in a tactical get up or stand up position to come here, and then I just drive forward for a guard pass. I go for the cross collar grip with gi, and I stack the knee over top of the forehead, and all I do from here is I pump my chest out, look at the ceiling, and then give the guard pass. Just to break it down, I'm in ankle lock position. I'm going to choose to not attack, want to confirm a guard pass. So instead of entangling over top, I'm going to entangle underneath, grab the top of the knee, face out, foot on the mat, tactical stand up, immediately pressure the leg forward, tag the knee, anchor at the collar, or if it's no gi, behind the shoulder. Drive forward, create some pressure, look up at the ceiling, pump your chest out, and get the guard pass. Here's the promised bonus technique I was telling you about. Something that will happen from time to time. Anytime you go for an ankle lock or for the ankle lock position. So I'm in this position, I give it a bridge, I hip out, I come over here, he anchors behind the head, and if you've been to my other videos where I talk about the telephone, straight arm lock. So that bonus technique, if you already know the telephone straight arm lock, it's not much to it. It's just not knowing that it's available to you. I give it a bridge, I hip out, I go for the ankle lock. He wants to secure and stabilize his position by grabbing the back of the neck. I will take the hand that's on the bottom, rotate his elbow, apply pressure, and get the tap. Okay guys, that was the finer point of mount escaping. It doesn't seem like much. If you know your elbow and knee escape series, if you know your bridge and roll series, you know how to put them in combination, that's great. But when you're dealing with guys that have been around the block and their belts are getting a little bit darker for you, now they have these little intricacies of digging their toes underneath your thigh, making their knees nice and wide where they're shutting down your bridging and rolling, they're shutting down your elbow and knee escape, and you got to get creative on your escapes. So this is the finer points of mount escapes. It helps me out a lot. I hope it helps you, and I look forward to seeing you in the mat soon.